Okay, today we are playing a game on Nepal. We are playing roughly half of the game as Soldier 76, and we are playing roughly half of the game as Pharah. This is actually a quick play game. It's not in competitive, so but you mostly can't tell. There's no Hanzo, Torbjorn, Symmetra nonsense happening from both teams. So, aside from the fact it isn't best of 5, it's best of 3, you pretty much can't tell. So let's look at our team. We've got Lucio and Anna, the two best supports in the game. Then we've got Roadhog and Zarya, both very good at King of the Hill, and you don't really need a Reinhardt as much on King of the Hill. Fight tends to be a little bit more scattered than Reinhardt likes it to be, so it's fine. And we've got Soldier and a McCree. So if they have a Pharah, which they do, the Pharah better not do anything all game, basically, since we've got every single Pharah counter in the game right now. Well, not quite all of them, but most of them. Also, there's quite a bit of audio desync, like 5 or so seconds, so we're playing with the sound off, but we usually do that anyway, so. We're coming up on the high ground. We're set up on the high ground, as we usually would like to be. We have broken off pretty far from our team right now. I'd prefer if we were, a little bit back here so that we could, be more with our team, because, Winston, if he was paying attention to us being over here, he could just jump over to us and then just run us around here, and our team wouldn't really be able to help us because we're so far away. Also, when your team's in this kind of standoff position with the other team coming out the other doorway, it's pretty good to just if you're playing Soldier, just go up behind them, put your biotic field with your tank line, and then retreat backwards. That is a surprising amount of actual help that you can give your team by doing that. Plus it charges your ult, which is really good. So I don't like quite how much we split off here, but we've come up to the high ground. That's the important thing. We're shooting in a Winston. We managed to kill the Winston. Pharah's making it really, really easy for us to shoot her right there. We get her just barely in the end, and hey, we managed to win the fight, so that means we get to capture the point. Team's fighting over here. We drop down, get the point. Anna and Lucio come in with us while the rest of the team's fighting. Great, we got the point. Awesome. And then we're immediately back up on the high ground, which is where we want to be, because as Master Obi-Wan Kenobi taught us, high ground is really fucking overpowered. Pharah now making it a little bit harder for us to kill her. Actually hovering around some cover now. Jumping up at half health, though, not very good. Risks dying doing that, but, that's good for us. So Winston jumps on us. We put the biotic field down. We just start fighting Winston in the biotic field. Oh, cat's leaving. Cat's leaving. There goes the cat. Cat doesn't like being here when I'm talking. So that's good. We drop the biotic field down. We just start fighting Winston in the biotic field. Then we come around the corner and we're like, oh, fuck Pharah. Now we get away from the Pharah. We don't really, you're about to run back over here. We don't really want to come over here because where we're about to fight Pharah is really hard for us to kill Pharah. Because whenever you, if she's around here, we run around here, she's just going to jump straight up. And, looking straight up at a Pharah, straight up, really hard to shoot. Plus, there's, the roof here, there's roofs here. There's, a lot of places for Pharah to get out of us, and we put ourselves in this really tight area where Pharah's just going to be looking down on us. And our biotic field is not yet back off cooldown. I should change this color to something different, because I, can't see it on half of this map. Our biotic field is, not off cooldown yet, so, we're coming into a really hard-to-fight area with Pharah, and she just starts shooting down at us. We do indeed have to shoot straight up. We get caught on the wall, and we die. We didn't need to go back over there and fight Pharah. If we were going to, we could have at least waited for the biotic field to come back up, but we could have just, gone back and played it a bit more chill than that. We didn't need to rush over there and try to kill the Pharah at that particular moment. And we go into a really bad area to fight Pharah with. So, and we end up dying. Not great. So, now, we're playing Soldier. We can get back fast at least. Roadhog's managed to kill Lucio. I keep, pointing at the wrong screen to try and point at things. Roadhog's killed Lucio, so that's really good. We managed to come back, shoot Pharah in the back once, and she dies. Great, everything went better than expected. And now we're back up on the high ground, having the time of our lives shooting down at people. And we almost have TAC Visor up, which is great. So, this is all fine, just shooting down into the choke point, maze wall on people for no reason. We use the biotic field to heal ourselves, and now we've got TAC Visor. Cool. Now, what's about to happen? Winston jumps on us. We don't have our biotic field to fight Winston with anymore. If Winston jumps on you, like he is doing so here, and your biotic field is on cooldown, just turn and sprint away from Winston. because unless you are gonna get, like, sick headshots and then, like, finish him off with the Helix Rocket, which is also on cooldown, pretty likely you're gonna die. If Winston jumps on you and you don't have your biotic field, I strongly suggest just running the fuck away, or at least just, like, running to get out of the range of his Tesla cannon. Because now, Winston's just gonna be tasing us this whole time, we don't get sick head tracking to finish him off with the Helix Rocket, and he just kills us. Like, you can fight Winston really easy if you have the biotic field. If you don't, it's pretty hard. You have to kill Winston really fucking fast. But you're playing Soldier. Soldier sprint, it's always up. You can always just turn and sprint away from Winston. And once he's jumped to you once, what's he gonna do then? He can't jump to you again for another 6 seconds. Easy, just run away. So, we're coming back through now. A fight is happening over here. We're kind of winning. Lucio's just dropped the sound barrier. We put our biotic field down and immediately leave it behind. Don't do that. If you're gonna go in and fight, I don't really like that we just, like, ult up here either. Because, like, there's a few things I'm not happy with. We, like, put our biotic field down, immediately leave it behind. But then we put on the tac visor without really knowing what's happening down here, other than a fight's happening and a lot of ultimates are getting thrown back and forth. What ends up being the case is we jump down and find Winston and May, who probably puts herself in her block, and then Winston puts the bubble down, and then we get tranked, which is unlucky, and we are going to end up getting killed, because McCree finds us while we're asleep, and we're dead. Like, try not to just, like, if you're gonna use your biotic field, put it somewhere that you're gonna use it, or your team is gonna use it. Just don't put it somewhere and then immediately run away from it. Also, would have preferred if we, like, jumped down first and then put the tac visor on, just so we can see what's happening down there first. We don't know what's happening down there. For all we know, we could have jumped down and found, like, the whole team hiding behind a May wall. Like, yeah, you want to get in there and do the big damage as soon as possible, but when you don't know what's happening exactly, it's a bit risky to just jump in there and, like, ult and jump in. So, we want to go up here. Our team doesn't want to go up here with us. I fucking hate Village on Nepal so much, because your team just never wants to go up on the high ground with you, is my personal experience with this map, and that's exactly what's happening. Like, we want to go up here, this is the correct way that we want to go, but our team is really determined to try and force itself through the choke point, like the choke point with, like, the big open spaces, with, like, no cover on it, like, no high ground. Enemy team's probably going to be up on the high ground, firing down, you know, whatever. Their life, I guess. So, like, it's difficult. Like, you either have to, like, because we want to go up on the high ground, but we also, like, want to be with our team. Depending on the situation, you can either go off by yourself on the high ground as Soldier and, like, get some work done, provided you're, like, being careful about it. But, like, you have to just sort of make up your mind, am I going to try and, like, get control of the high ground myself, or am I just going to come over here with my team? Because we, like, hesitate up there for a while, and then by the time we decide, fuck it, we'll just go with the team, like, stuff's already happening. We're, like, late to this fight. So you just gotta kind of pick one and go with it. This Zarya is electing to commit suicide, which is very helpful for us. And we come through, we see McCree, we stop running into McCree, which is really good. We miss the Helix Rocket, which is bad, but, you know, whatever. You miss. Sometimes it happens. Zarya comes in with the Graviton, and we're going to get some damage in. We have to reload at an unfortunate time. We just barely stop Lucio from dropping the beat, which is great. And we managed to kill the May. So, like, we've killed, like, most of their team at this point. We're getting a little flustered trying to kill this Ana. We're getting, like, just chill. Like, this is a free kill. Just chill. No need to get so, like, fidgety about it. And then we start running away from her. What I think happens is we get spooked by the nano boost happening in the room, because it's, like, Winston. That Ana's, like, fucking dead. Like, she doesn't know you're there. She's just, like, jumping up and down, like, going closer to and from us. Like, just stay and, like, shoot at that Ana. No need to run away. Their whole team's dead. So, our nano boost has come through. Soldier's coming to come... Roadhog's going to go through there. We've almost got the tac visor. We put the tac visor on right here. This is, like, very, very poor target prioritization right here, because, like, look at what we see when we put the tac visor on. Like, what's happening over there? I missed it a little bit. I'm going to go back again. We're going to get the perfect shot. Don't worry. Like, what's happening over here is our Roadhog is fighting their Ana and their McCree. Like, their Ana has, like, 1 hit point, but, like, Roadhog doesn't actually manage to kill her. and we put the tac visor on, we look at them, and then we just leave and start shooting the Zarya. Like, just stay over there and kill those two. Like, even if you think Roadhog is gonna kill them, like, you've got the tac visor on, you're gonna kill them in, like, half a second. Just, like, kill those two high-priority targets. So, like, it's a support and a DPS. Like, stay and kill that. Like, make sure they die, because they're higher priority targets. And then go and start shooting the Zarya. Because, like, Zarya is, like, whatever. No charge, no graviton, whatever. To, like, Ana and McCree, fucking hell, kill them. So, you know, target prioritization. Very important for DPS. Especially when you're ulting as soldier. Like, you gotta make sure you get that right. Because tac visor, very scary ultimate. Like, very easy to, like, kill a team with it. Well, not very easy. The enemy team has to, like, help you out a little bit, but you know. So we come in, we put the biotic field right in the middle of the point. Great, awesome. Our team can heal up here if they need to. Gonna kill the D.Va. Event, like, we won the round. We just have to go through the ceremony of killing all the people that are going to trickle into the point one by one. But we're going to get there in the end. This is actually a really short game. We win 2 rounds back-to-back. And as you may imagine, from being half soldier, half Pharah, we're going to play Pharah on the next round. So, we hesitate on it for a little while. I really think about it, but, like, it's fine. And we have a Sombra, which is, you know, kind of sad, but whatever. Like, we're really not sure about picking Pharah. It's fine. Man, Pharah's gold gun is fucking gold, isn't it? Holy shit, look at that. So, now, we're playing Pharah. Now, what we have to worry about is, main thing we have to worry about is, like, we have to think very three-dimensionally about the cover we're going to be using. We want to make sure we're staying near something we can hide behind, because when you're playing Pharah and you're just floating out in the open air, really easy for you to die. So we're staying near a lot of cover right now. They don't actually have, like, that many Pharah counters on their team. They have Ana, who is, in my opinion, the best Pharah counter in the game, asides, like, Widowmaker. But the Ana is, like, doesn't focus us, which is really convenient. Now, we fixate on this Winston for, like, a while. That's not really our problem. Like, it's kind of our problem, but it's not really our problem. Like, when we're playing Pharah, we're basically trying to bully the shit out of their backline and, like, pick people off. And it's hard to pick off tanks unless they're really out of position. So, yeah, we're still shooting at this Winston. We should just be, like, trying to bully around their support. Like, look, Lucio's over here. We finally noticed Lucio, but then we stopped shooting at Lucio as well because he's, like, getting away from us. Like, now we're, like, still focusing on these talents. Like, don't worry about these guys, dog. Just focus on the backline over there. It's really easy to kill them. It's really easy to kill the backline as Pharah, especially when there's, like, not many Pharah counters. Hard to kill a tank as Pharah, unless they, like, really let you do it. So, now we're coming in. We're getting a little bit close, but, like, there's not too much that can punish us, so it's okay. Now we start, like, trying to bully around their backline. We're bullying around Ana. Don't quite kill her, but we're coming around the back end. Pretty sure we get her. Yeah, we get her. And we've got Barrage. Just barrage these tanks, honestly. Like, just, like, right here. Like, just, make sure you get far enough away from the bubble that you don't kill yourself. And then just, like, barrage these tanks. Like, Barrage is an ultimate, is, like, Barrage is a really bad ultimate because, like, it's really easy to just use it and die. Like, when you use Barrage, you're just like, oh, please, please live, please live, please live, and then you usually don't live. Like, 2 tanks right there. Tanks are, like, annoying to kill. We don't have, like, great tank-killing team. Like, just ult the 2 tanks, honestly. It's, like, the best value you're gonna get out of Barrage right there. Now, we're trying to kill the other Pharah. There are certain matchups in the game that are really not worth taking part in, and, like, this is one of them. It's like Tracer versus Tracer, Tracer versus Genji, Genji versus Genji, Pharah versus Pharah. It's just something that's not really worth getting into because, like, chances, like, yeah, best case scenario, you kill the other person, but, like, it's gonna have taken you fucking forever to do it, and, like, more often than not, what happens is you just both end up doing nothing for a really long time. There was this thing in TF2 that kind of applies here. It applies in a more direct term, but, like, there was a thing where we had what we would call weighted companion snipers, and this was, like, a pun on the weighted companion cube. And the idea was, like, basically what would happen was there'd be 2 snipers, and, like, they know there's a sniper on the other team, and they're just really fixated on killing the other sniper. And what happens most of the time is just both snipers end up doing absolutely nothing, so they end up being weighted companion snipers. Obviously, this can happen with Widowmaker versus Widowmaker in this game, but, like, it's the same basic thing if it's, like, Pharah versus Pharah, Tracer versus Tracer. You're not doing anything, really. It's, like, so much effort, and all that ends up really happening is just neither of you do anything. Because, like, watch how long we're fighting this Pharah. Like, there's a team fight happening on the point still right now. Like, we spend like 30 seconds trying to kill this Pharah. We get her in the end, but it took so long that, like, a whole other team fight has happened over here. Like, everybody's, like, gotten back to this fight to have a second try. Like, it just took so long. Like, just don't bother with that kind of thing. Unless you get, like, the primest of opportunities to try and kill them. Like, the Pharah's just, like, chilling out on the ground or something at low HP. So it took long enough for Anna to actually get back to this fight. You know, just don't bother. So, but now we've taken control of the point. We have Barrage, which is, like, cool, but it's, like, really hard to use Barrage and not die doing so. Obviously, we don't want to die when we use Barrage. Like, there are, like, certain ultimates in the game that are better than the hero. Like, Dragon Blade is better than Genji, right? Like, Pharah is not that case. Like, it's like, Pharah is better than Barrage. Barrage is like a really bad ultimate, so we're not really worrying about that too much. If we see an opportunity, that's great, but we're mostly just still trying to focus on, like, picking people off and, like, heckling people. As, like, this Winston, just, like, jet away from this Winston. Like, don't even worry about it. Winston's not our problem, really. If Winston wants to try and kill us, he can try, but he won't. So, now, we're in on the point. We usually don't want to be here, but again, there's not too much on the enemy team that can really punish us right now. I mean, there's, like, really not much of anything. We're trying to kill Pharah again. We actually managed to kill Pharah. It was a really good shot, actually, so it works out fine. Again, try not to bother unless you get, like, great opportunities like that. Like, she made it pretty easy. And we poke him. We ult Reinhardt, kill him really quick. Don't manage to kill anyone else. That's Barrage. Whatever. It's fine. We kill Reinhardt really quickly, and that's the important thing. And now we're just back to poking as Pharah. There's, like, this one guy called Valkia, who is, like, one of the best Pharah players in the world. He's, like, Grandmaster Pharah. Like, Pharah's his waifu. He only plays Pharah, stuff like that. Like, he plays Pharah in a way very similar to how you'd tell people to play Genji. Where, like, he just, like, sits, like, poking really aggressive, like, poking all the time. Like, let's pause here, because he'll just, like, poke from a lot of places. He'll just, like, poke out, like, over here, a couple shots in, then, like, come over here, a couple shots, like, come, like, over here, a couple shots. And just, like, pokes really aggressively. Like, if he sees someone out of position, just sort of dives right on them and tries to kill them. And then, like, just waits for, like, an opportunity to just, like, concussive blast over and, like, kill their entire team with his ultimate. So, like, if you're interested in seeing, like, really good Pharah play, like, go look up Valkia. He's really good. Like, he's a fantastic Pharah player. Way better than me. I'm pretty bad at Pharah. I play Reinhardt. So, a team fight's happening over here. Graviton happens, and, like, we don't immediately, like, try to get over there on the Graviton. Like, I mean, we're kind of, like, floating out in the middle of nowhere, but, like, this is kind of what concussive blast's for, right? Like, when we see it, we're pretty close to this pillar, like, over here. Float a little bit closer, like, concussive blast over in this direction, and try to get a couple of shots into the Graviton. If, like, a Graviton's going off and you're playing far, you'd want to try and get there as quickly as possible. Like, even if people are, like, scattering away from the Graviton, that's still pretty good. Either way, doesn't matter, though. Our team's winning the fight. Like, this is going pretty well for us. Enemy team is probably pretty tilted because, like, no one's killing Pharah, because, like, they don't have, like, any Pharah counters on their team except for Anna, but Anna's not trying to kill us at all. Don't think Anna shot at us, like, all game. Like, you know. And we end up just winning the game. Really easy. Really fast, really quick game. Really easy. Not too much to say about it, really. Like, that's the thing. It's, like, a really short, quick play game that we won. So it's, like, not too terribly much happened. It's, like, target prioritization seemed like a bit of a thing. Like, based off it. Because there was, like, the Roadhog fighting the two squishies. We ulted. We didn't kill them first. Trying to kill Pharah a lot as Pharah. Not really worth dealing with. Just kind of, like, shoot the back line still. Trying to focus tank, like, the tank line as Pharah when you could be, like, trying to pick off the back line more aggressively. Like, target prioritization seemed like a thing. And for Soldier, like, specifically, like, don't be afraid to like not fight people. Like that does like that sounds really counterintuitive. Like if like Winston's diving on you and you don't have your biotic field, like don't be afraid to just like turn and run away. Don't feel like